Faster? Okay, faster.
Okay. I like the art. Let's see the game. I'm not gonna lie, the world looks pretty great. I'm gonna be real with you. Other than seeing the world, I can't tell you. I can't judge this.
Questions, and joining me now from Builder Rocket Boy is Adam Whiting to hopefully answer some of those because we're a little confused, but we want to know a lot about this. So tell us, everywhere, what kind of game is this? What can you tell us?
I like what I saw though.
Be here, and we've been looking forward to coming out of stealth mode, and really delighted to start the conversation today here.
Trailer, I think we all were taken aback by, whoa, this seems totally different. Is that part of everywhere? What can you tell us?
Well, Jeff, that's one of the many surprises we've got in store for players. I mean, we are passionate about making games into we're made everywhere to be a place where players can make their own experiences, be who they want to be, and tell their own stories. But we're still passionate about making a immersive and cinematic experience.
All right, well, definitely a bold vision for what you're doing here. The other question I'm sure we're all wondering is, we didn't see a date on the trailer. Any sense of when we're going to get to play this thing? Where are you at in development?
Well, I'm delighted to say that we aim to have everywhere in the hands of players.
So it's gonna be delayed till 2025. We just started.
Faster? Okay, faster.
Yeah, this is literally, this right here is the second thing. We just saw the first. Ooh, Tower of Fantasy? Oh, no, that's not, wait. Every time I see that infinity thing, I'm like, Tower Fantasy? Well, this looks like a Final Fantasy, actually, but it didn't say Square Enix. Yeah, this looks like a Star Wars game, but I'm not even sure. I can't get a vibe on this yet. I need a vibe check.
I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its past.
Well, it's definitely not a Final Fantasy.
Hey, who's that skulking around?
What is this? Honestly, you might be right about Dune.
Play.
Yep, Dune. question. Awakening. Oh, Dune Open World Survival MMO. Gosh dang, man. Are we about to get like a bunch of MMOs in the coming years?
Trust me, the fun is just beginning tonight. All right, how many of you out there are fans of PlayStation?
Oh, I am.
Well, we've got a fun surprise for you. I said, PlayStation, what can we do for all the fans coming together here at Gamescom? And right now, I'm honored to share this global PlayStation announcement with you right here at Gamescom.
It better be a new controller, because I'm tired of controller drift. Holy smoky. That thing's sexy. Oh, my B. Oh, I guess I'm getting a new controller, y'all. Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, I'm getting that. No question. Is it out yet?
There you go. The DualSense Edge. It's a high-performance, ultra-customizable, wireless PlayStation 5 controller designed by PlayStation. And you see there you can have your own custom control profiles, customized to your play style. If you guys want to learn more about the brand new controller, you can head to PlayStation Blog. And thanks to PlayStation for sharing that announcement with us here at Gamescom. All right, next up, the
When is it
Callisto
releasing?
Protocol. You guys up for that
God
game?
dang it, now I gotta go figure it out. Hold on, I'll be back. I gotta go figure out when the thing's releasing.
From striking distance, Glenn, we are so excited about this. You came all the way over in the middle of the development.
Faster?
Really appreciate it.
Okay, faster.
Response been to Callisto so far?
The response has been fantastic. I couldn't ask for anything more. So I want to thank the fans, and I want to thank the team for just really killing it. And it's great to be back at Gamescom, man. You know?
Well, you got some good stuff for the fans, and we're going to get to that in a second. You brought some gameplay. We saw some great stuff at Summer Game Fest. You brought more now. What are we going to see today, Glenn?
Yeah, you got some live gameplay. We've got two sections. The first one is going to show some crazy combat, and the second one is something in the game a little different than what we've shown with a pretty crazy engine.
Yes, it is. You guys are going to love this. One thing I want to ask you about was you're known certainly in the team for work on Dead Space. In that game, we love the strategic dismemberment. I understand you're kind of one up in this game.
Look at it sparkle. Go, Barbara, go.
Today we're going to show a couple new things. One that we're showcasing called mutations. So the enemies may sometimes have these tentacles come out, and if you don't shoot them, or not on time, this guy in real time is going to mutate in front of you into something bigger, badder, faster, meaner, and he's going to be taking you out. It's pretty cool.
Well, this is one of my most anticipated games. It's coming out this December. Glenn, thanks to you and the team for putting this together. Let's take a look at brand new gameplay from the Callisto Protocol.
Thank you.
Things are going so smoothly today.
Yeah, they're pushing the Callisto Protocol really hard. snap. They weren't kidding about that thing mutating in front of you. I can't find any information on the new PS5 controller yet. I don't think they've updated the site. Oof. Almost got grinded up right there. Ooh. Ooh. Oh my god. I hope you're 18 plus.
Let's dance.
Pre-order now, December 2nd.
We got lots more coming for you right now. I want to introduce my co-host for ONL, Melly. Welcome to ONL.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm so excited to be here at Gamescom. Hello, everybody. I'm your guide for tonight for all the happenings around Gamescom, and I'm really, really excited to be here because the heart of gaming is beating once again, and game devs and publishers from all around the world are making their way to Cologne to show you hundreds of new games. So if you're not here yet and still can come by, make sure to drop by. And if you can't, make sure to drop by next year because it's definitely worth a visit.
It's
And one of
good
the
the
highlights
villagers'
this
lives
year
are.
is we actually have the largest indie area ever, bringing visitors and devs closer together than anywhere else in the world. And you can meet the makers of the most original and fantastic and creative games here. And if you're not here, and if you can't make it here, do not worry. You can also check out the Indie Arena booth online at gamescom.global. Jeff, it's back to you.
Thank you, Melly, and you'll be with us all night. We've got Gamescom awards to come and other things too. But let's get right back to the world premieres. This next one is one you've been waiting for a long time to see. Let's take a look at this brand new world premiere.
Oh wow. though. It actually doesn't look bad. I'd actually be interested in trying it. I want to see more actual gameplay footage, but it looks actually like a pretty interesting topic.
All right, now it's time for another new game announcement. The sequel to a game that redefined the term couch co-op.
Couch co-op. Yes. Oh my god. Moving out. Oh, here we go. Hogwarts Legacy.
It's time to step into the Potterverse. You guys excited for Hogwarts Legacy? Well, it is coming out in February of 2023, and tonight at Gamescom, we've got the brand new trailer for you to take a look at. I don't want to say much, spoil much. This is an incredible trailer. I hope you enjoy it.
Shake my head.
You've made your choice.
Looks okay. I don't know. People that hyping this up?
Smell of treasure. Strange.
That's right, it's time to step into the world of Borderlands now. Joining me is the founder of Gearbox Entertainment Company, Randy Pitchford. Randy, great to see you here.
Thanks for the intro, Jeff. I think a lot of you guys probably know me from my work at Gearbox creating Borderlands. Any Borderlands fans in the house? Well, I got good news. I know some of you hardcore folks saw the leak, I'm here to officially announce new Tales from the Borderlands.
So tell us about this. We remember Tales from the Borderlands. This is new Tales from Borderlands. This is
I'm hungry.
story.
Let's hunt.
You know, I loved the original game, and so that's why we got some of the original storytellers and writers that were back in the day at Telltale and developed an all-new storyline with all new characters.
Okay.
Created with production from Gearbox Studio Quebec. It's an all-new experience, and we're here to show it for the first time today. You guys want to check it out?
Yeah, it's coming soon too, right?
That's right. Coming in October of this year.
Oh.
This year, all platforms.
Awesome. Well, let's take a look, Randy. This is exciting. New Tales from the Borderlands. First at Gamescom.
Why is there a gun with legs? I love that.
Empty chest.
Are you people like this? If you happen to see any corpses along the way, don't worry about them. They're just, yeah, don't worry about them.
I actually think I might play that.
Come back to the city and
Isn't this the Saints Row game? I'm guessing no.
It's good the villagers' lives are improving.
I smell rabbit.
Dying light. Oh.
There's no end to this. Product not yet ready.
Faster? Okay, faster. Let's go somewhere cooler.
God dang.
One, two, three, four, two, three.
Destiny 2. Okay, so it was
Four.
Destiny 2. I was like, isn't this the new Destiny 2 announcement? Wow. What the heck?
Again, this Saturday, the Gamescom Awards will be handed out to the winners of the best games on the show floor. Only submitted games showing at Gamescom will be eligible to be nominated, and the awards will be streamed on all Gamescom channels, so make sure to tune in. But tonight, I'm allowed to hand out 4 awards. I'm very, very excited about that. And I would say, let's jump straight into the most wanted PC game. Here are your nominees.
Most wanted PC game. Oh.
Metal Hellsinger,
Oh, I actually really want to play Metal Hellsinger.
System Shock, Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, and the winner is Metal Hellsinger. And here to accept your
That tingle?
You're open.
Let the show begin.
That tingle?
Let's dance. Bubba, get them. Hey, go.
You're open.
Let the show begin.
You're open.
There's blood.
Orders given. Orders received. La, 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 la.
The Sega Genesis?
I'll protect us. Nice and spicy. Life goes on.
Keep back!
Under the waves.
You remember the the Sega Genesis actually didn't do half bad, but the Sega Dreamcast was garbage.
Ready for some goats? No live goats today, but we are here to talk about Goat Simulator 3. We got to announce this back at Summer Game Fest. And now it's time to see the gameplay of Goat Simulator 3 for the first time.
Ooh, Goat Simulator gameplay, let's go!
Empty chest. Good for storage.
I've been waiting to see some gameplay. I love the trailer. Oh my gosh. This thing's chaotic. Oh my god. Oh, goat yoga.
Smell of treasure. Strange.
Oh my gosh. That thing goes getting its Captain America on.
Empty chest. Good for
I'm not gonna
storage.
lie, there's a lot you can do in this. Easy Game of the Century reward. I agree. Easy.
November 17th, that has about everything you could imagine. All right. A lot of people ask me how I got started in the industry, and what I loved doing when I was a kid with my brother, we would play PC adventure games. I grew up playing classic Lucas and Sierra adventure games. You guys remember Monkey Island by chance? Well, I am so excited because there is a new Monkey Island in development right now. Ron Gilbert, Mysteries creator, is back. You may have heard about it. Return to Monkey Island. And tonight at Gamescom, I am so excited that we get to announce the release date. Or actually, I don't. We get to go to...
I'm hungry. Let's hunt.
Check this out.
Hello, friends. It's your old pal Stan, coming to you through the magic of marketing to let you know that your search for quality entertainment is about to bear fruit. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I just dropped the details on you without a little build-up. I want you to see the kind of fine dining establishments you'll be visiting, like this one.
Get lost.
And if escapism is your cup of flavor, you can't do much better than this exotic and extremely remote island.
Stay back! How did you find me?
Oh, a new South Park game?
Launches September 19th, which happens to be International Talk Like a Pirate Day. But you don't have to wait. You can order it right now. before it's even out. Something we in the marketing industry call a pre-order. As a bonus, I'm ready to unload this shipment of beautiful horse armor to anyone who pre-orders it. Fantastic in your inventory.
Wait, you missed a spot.
I've got to go now. I've got a lot of irons and a lot of fires. You know how it is. But I'll be back every single
Why
day.
are his arms doing that?
I'll see you there.
Zakar, don't push yourself.
The exclusive
Look,
horse armor.
there's a cave over there.
Please note that the horse armor has no price tag in game and in no way will contribute to the gameplay, puzzles, or narrative of Return to Monkey Island.
units in your inventory. Return to Monkey Island. Cannot wait for that. All right, now let's turn to the world of the creators of Subnautica. As we've teased, they are here today at Gamescom to unveil a brand new IP, and it's a departure from Subnautica. It's a brand new turn-based sci-fi game, and we'll reveal it for the first time right here.
Okay, turn-based sci-fi game.
Children, come, come. You've arrived at just the right moment.
Oh, what is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no. You've done so much for Leah. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
I was sitting here like,
A
does
gift
this sound?
for Paimon?
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But when you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply won't do. Especially since, I imagine, fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities atrophy. Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will.
I don't think there's much of a story to tell.
I will not go into too much detail. The teapot that you entered previously.
So, in the eyes of an adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play.
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own.
Wait, you get to paint
Rex
the
Lapis,
pieces?
on the other. But that's enough nostalgia.
Okay, that's right. I like that.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days. Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be found where the glazed lilies thrived most profusely. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glazed lilies, and if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil there. But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today. Even more difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it. In any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the goodness knows if that child was...
Well, since you're an adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they must be an
Yes, I suppose she does.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather...
I'm back, Granny.
No, not yet. Not yet,
Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yen Fei. She's the one helping run some errands for me. Yen Fei, I believe you've already heard of the...
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liua's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Cart before finally defeating an ancient god together with... A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yenfei. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact detail. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention.
All right, Yenfei, all right. Let's get to the business, and you'll have to excuse Yenfei.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time. They had me, and once I was all grown up.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis, and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the... Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much.
Is that so? Yenfei, are you sure you can't find some...
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still... Hold on a moment. Let me have a look.
Whoa, that's a really thick book. What kind of things do you write in there?
Commercial consultancy. Or... Snezhnaya? Ah, found him. Krusel. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. If my memory serves, all of them had to do with rare ores. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck. Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing yourself in legal jeopardy.
Wow, an Adeptus imploring. Best we be a little more.
Guys, we're gonna help Pinocchio become rich.
Smell of treasure. Strange.
Hello, Mr. Crossel.
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei.
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job.
That's Pinocchio?
Now, I believe that the
Yo,
last time we
Pinocchio
met,
got a glow
you
up.
mentioned that you were looking to source some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of Smaragdus jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins?
It's kind of
I must apologize. I've already rented them out to a lady named Chiao.
Wait, isn't Smaragdus jadeite really rare?
What crazy
Aren't you
thing
worried
happening
about the
this week?
hairpins getting...
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a the contract makes it... In return, I included a clause.
Guaranteed genuine? With 10 times the value paid?
Of course. This way, both the
In that case,
Oh, of course.
thanks a lot, Mr.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, Jiminy! So we got Geppetto, Jiminy. Oh, here's a Game Boy.
Whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
You kind of clean with it.
How do you do, Monsieur Chow? We understand from Mr. Crossel that you recently rented a pair of hairpins. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you
The hairpins? I don't know how it could... I spent so much money on them.
Pinocchio
If I have to
meets
pay their original
the
value...
Elden Ring?
There's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such... My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since we now have a backlog of... A big banquet is coming up in a few days. That's what the hair... But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Would you really?
Hold on.
Huh?
Yeah, Pinocchio had
Let me
enough.
see.
That's
He said, "I
right.
wanna be a real boy
Yancy
right
said
now."
she's true. Though surely there must be a win-win solution.
Right. I finished reading the contract.
No, I'm good.
The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
However, all of this is a...
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the jadeite is genuine or not? Whichever way you look...
Except that if we found the hairpin...
Please. Please, however much it is, now that it's come to the...
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most So hold on a moment, Miss...
What did I feel? My family has seen...
Smooth to the touch. Finest quality No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things.
Let the show be...
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite... You lost them? Are you...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Truly I am.
Mora? Do you have any I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just...
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes. And it was in fact genuine Smaragdus Jadeite inlaid into the hair...
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times...
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can...
Miss Yanfei, what is this about? Are you...
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins...
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus Jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience Mr. Chow. Did you at any time feel
No, not at all. I felt perfectly
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossel's vicinity. If I have deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus Jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now!
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it, and then he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually—
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with—
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yunfei.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, can I ask you to please—
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even— It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied—
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yunfei.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on this page as well. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint.
This contract has so many pages.
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve. I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask.
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where? Ah, I've got it. Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Try your luck betting on Jade?
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to...
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnine merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnayan merchant named Krosel, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus jade. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so...
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
Try your luck betting on jade?
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross... Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for trace...
Is that so? So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shard?
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to... There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference, and, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But never mind, Shirto. What?
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Miss Yanfei? Might I be so bold?
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossel did indeed claim that...
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite...
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
Of course.
Oh, I have my reasons. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from...
Yes, I see.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir.
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossel will
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something a little more compelling. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got it! Singxi. She often helps...
Well, that was quick.
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, I should say laws, are very important to us. But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? It just seems like they're hard to understand and impossible to finish. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to understand and impossible to finish?
Yes, well, that's no obstacle because I've memorized all the legal codices.
You memorized them?
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know? Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again, with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then. Let's go look for Singxi.
Thank you so very much. Feel free to take a look around.
Oh, Miss Yanfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to...
Crosel. Yes, I remember him. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Inksy, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossel commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he presented to you that day was called smaragdus jadeite?
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Crossel wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself, the item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry on it.
Thank you, Sinksy. Now, could you let me borrow the...
Sure. It isn't serving much purpose here anyway.
Nothing you need to worry about. Just a minor issue.
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble?
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip.
The weirdo with the snake around his neck? What do you want to speak to him for?
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out and if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well. Now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus jadeite.
Smaragdus jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 Mountain Treatises. The 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period... Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yenfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit.
That is indeed the case. If you would...
No trouble at all. It's but after I wonder...
you needn't...
You're too...
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossel.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can...
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do...
Of course. Mr. Crossel, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, The substance claimed to be smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid within the smaragdus jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, smaragdus nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question. If we want to determine whether the ore is genuine, we need to start with evidence from the Jade Mystery. This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between smaragdus jadeite and smaragdus In any case, smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me, and some nephrite samples remain in the store.
That's an
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here.
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't
Hard evidence. Something legally binding.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore...
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hair...
Of course I'm right. All the evidence...
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall, Traveler, would you do the honors?
What?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may suffer a dramatic change of personality and false... Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of smaragdus jadeite?
I...
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of... However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient, considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you pose. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here... I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their...
What? Wait!
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear, Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of smaragdus jadeite stick...
Huh? No, I...
Aren't actually inlaid with genuine smaragdus jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
Yampy's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was... But I'm a victim in all of this, too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of smaragdus jadeite, in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from smaragdus nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from smaragdus. I kept the real smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Jiqiao lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so much?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days...
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow...
10 times?
Crossell looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as...
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay. Even if the Smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bet...
Ms.
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus jadeite, why don't...
What? But I... don't...
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn the Smaragdus jadeite over to you.
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go. But whatever. It'll do.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Mr. Chow, have you and Mr. Crossell come to...
Well
then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so?
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ore. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do...
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for it. But this time, you managed to solve the problem with just a big stack of documents. Even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the hairpins.
The right solution depends on the objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was the more efficient and adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, you would have heard what Granny said. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal powers?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit.
You've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the Smaragdus jadeite? Good, good.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients.
Oh, you. All right, then. Go see to your business. Granny should be...
I'm off then. Bye! Oh, yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card. I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly. Regulars get discounts, too.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me...
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Indeed she is. Liyue has changed, and the Adepti must also learn to change. Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city among us all. Liyue is not the same place I once knew. All right, then. Let us speak of this no more. Back on topic. I believe that I still owe you a little gift.
Ooh, Paimon's so excited! How is it made?
It is but a single teapot. It shan't take long at all. Just Wait here for a moment. There we go. This Serenity Pot is all yours now. Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, oh goodness, who knows what might happen. Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a little more lively inside.
Wait a minute, Granny. How exactly are we supposed to use this teapot?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a certain little helper to await you within this teapot. She will explain everything you need to know about it.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Let's go somewhere cooler.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Wow! This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame Ping's. There's even a great big house in the middle, too. Huh. But there's just a whole load of nothing around it. Paimon can't do that. Still, why is it so empty here apart from that house? Oh, wait a second. What is that?
Well, it seems that we have a visitor.
It's a huge finch!
Excuse me, I am not a finch. I am a teapot spirit, and you may call me... hang on a moment. What am I supposed to be called again? Oh, call me. I suppose you may call...
So you're the little help...
Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did summon me here. She told me much about you. You may leave all matters regarding the upkeep of this realm to me. Your journey may be far from over, but at least this way you will not want for a comfortable place to sleep each night. Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend to the banal matter of their maintenance. Thus, we teapot spirits were created to help guard their realms and manage their affairs. You may consider me a butler, if you will. Now, allow me to explain this realm to you. Have you any As long as you have a blueprint, you can refashion this realm however you please.
Blueprints? Oh?
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking. Just commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare the necessary materials. Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the blueprint shall appear within this teapot.
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this to me at some point in the past. He said that even though subspace creation is a product of adeptal power, even that has its limits. This world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief respite from the mortal realm, not a means of escaping it entirely.
A golden-eyed adeptus? Paimon wonders who could that be?
I hardly remember myself. What's more,
I have never seen that Adeptus again since. Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look around. Best you get accustomed to this realm. If there's anything you would like to ask, just look for me. used to the place at the moment, but once you've materialized enough rooms and furniture through subspace creation, it will feel just like home. If you ever have any questions about the... One, two, breathe. 3, 4, and Hey, do you know what? Neither do I. I already forgot. One, two, breathe. 3, 4, and
Faster? Okay, faster. One, two. Maybe you're not. If you ever have any questions about... One, two, breathe. 3, 4, and... Let's go somewhere cooler.
join the Adventurers Guild. You'll have a blast.
Here is consumer psychology. June is out of stock, but we have some new items here.
cure is crucial.
Need to get something from A to B.
After peak.
Something from A to B.
Keeping this crane secure is crucial.
After peak season.